All right. So if you are watching this recording, then you're probably interested in real estate investing. And I am going to talk to you for a little about just that, about real estate investing. Okay. And specifically, what we're going to talk about today is getting started from scratch. So hopefully, this helps people that are trying to get started from scratch. Maybe you've done a deal before, or maybe you just want another perspective on how to invest in real estate. And what I thought I would do today is I thought I would talk about what I would do if I was starting completely from scratch. Okay. So today, that's what we're talking about. But before we talk about that, I'll share just a little bit of my story and who I am. I'm John Crutchfield. I am a former principal of schools, former teacher. I was in education and public education for about 10 years. I've been a professor at a college at Ole Miss and for a little while at the University of Texas at Arlington. But my passion is for helping people. My passion is for helping other people transform their life. And education is very important in having people change their life. I got into real estate very deep, hot, and heavy in 2018, um, using something called the Burr strategy. Okay. The Burr strategy, which is basically when you buy a property, you renovate it, you refinance it, or actually, you rent it first and then you refinance it. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit today, but that's how I got into the business. I didn't wholesale first. I started off by buying properties, fixing them up, renting them out, and then refinancing and doing that over and over again. You can repeat that process really in today's world as many times as you want. And this is still one of my core strategies today for investing. So that's who I am. It's been about 7 years that I've been investing in real estate. Today, I think we still own multiple hundreds of homes, some commercial properties, some hotels, all kinds of little things that I got my hands in these days. And so it's a good way to just transform your life. I started out with probably less than $3,000 in the bank, so didn't have a ton of money. My credit was okay. It was good enough to have some credit cards. So I did have a few credit cards. My handy dandy Navy Federal credit card had about a $20,000 limit, and I had some other credit cards with some available balance. So that's what I had to get started and to maneuver around. And today I still maneuver around with a lot of credit, a lot of other people's money, and that sort of thing. But enough talking about me. I want to help you if you're trying to get started from scratch. Okay. If you're trying to get started from scratch, all I can say is that I meet a ton of people who want to get into real estate investing. Most people don't stick with it. Okay. And most people don't stick with it because they don't have a conversation like we're about to have right now. Okay. And we're about to have a conversation about how to stick with it and how to build a real estate business that lasts. Because if you start it off, you're going to be able to make it work. Okay. So as a real estate investor, if I was getting started from scratch, I would want somebody to tell me that you are going to need one of three things. Okay. You don't have to have them all, but you absolutely need one of three things. You either need time, you either need money, or you need experience. Okay. If you have one of these three things, you are going to be able to be successful as a real estate investor. Okay. You, however, need one of these three things. Okay. It is something where you're not going to be able to get something for nothing. If you see people cashing real estate checks, people doing real estate deals, or making posts about all the money they're making, if they're actually real estate investing, they probably have one of these three things: time, money, or experience. If you don't have one of these three things, you need to look at life, look at your situation, and figure out how you can get one of these three things. And I'm not talking about this infinite amount, but too many times people want to get into real estate investing and they don't have time, which we all have time, by the way. They don't have money, which we all have access to money, by the way. And they don't have experience, which we all have various experiences that will help us as real estate investors. Okay. The truth is, the more I've looked at the countless number of people who've told me I want to get into real estate investing, okay, I have never met a real estate investor that does not have one of these three things. What I have met is a lot of people who have different priorities at different times. Okay. So your time might be going to Netflix or a ailing family member or a job or multiple jobs or church or a hobby, but you have time. You have time. Most of us are sleeping for 8 hours or a little less every day. And then we've got 16 hours in a week where we have the time, right? Maybe the time is being spent elsewhere, but you're absolutely going to have to dedicate time to a real estate business, especially when you're getting started, especially if you're getting started, especially if you have not run another business before. Okay. If you've run other businesses, maybe you could skip the time factor and hire somebody else for their time, but I found that you're going to need one of these. And if you are one of those people that maybe doesn't have the other two, then you're going to need to allocate time to your real estate business. You're watching this, you might be saying, how much time do I need? Okay, this is how you need to think about it. You need to look at your goals and say, like, how much time do you think the person that you want to be is spending on their real estate business? Okay, that's a good way to think about it. So the person that you want to be, whether it's you have 1 unit, 10 units, $100,000, $1 million in the bank, how much time do you think they're spending? Okay, again, that's how much time you need to be thinking about dedicating. And in the beginning, it does take more time because you're learning, you're making a bunch of mistakes, you're navigating the process, and time is required. Okay. If you don't want to spend time, let's say you absolutely don't have any time, you're busy, your job is taking everything from you, or your family taking, you got little babies. I've been through all of this. Your wife just doesn't want you gone, like whatever your situation is, then you need to look at these other two areas. Okay. The second area, what you need is money. Did you hear me? You need some money. Okay. What money does is money allows you to fast track the process because you can leverage other people's time. Okay. This is the strategy that I teach inside of our inner circle. I teach people how to use virtual assistants to leverage other people's time. Other people can do the work that's required to become a real estate investor. Okay. You can also basically look at real estate deals more like with a laser gun than having to cast a net and see what sticks, right? So if you're more of a laser focused type of person who wants to do deals faster, you actually want to scale a business and not just do a deal here and there, then you're going to need some money. The cool part about real estate investing is once you figure it out, you realize that it doesn't have to be your money. It can be money from a credit card like I use to get started. Okay. It could be money from a family member. It could be money from friends. It could be money from a church member or a business partner. You could team up with somebody who has one of these three things, but you're absolutely going to need one of these three things. Okay. So many of us don't want to get started because we don't have money. But I will tell y'all this, money is probably the most abundant resource on the planet. Money is everywhere. Lots of people have it. Okay. And so if you don't have it, that doesn't mean money is not everywhere. That just means you need to change your circle and look for a circle where people have money. Y'all, my mindset was so broken on this when I got started. I can tell y'all that when I got started in 2018, $500 was a lot of money. Like coming up with $500 to solve a problem was a lot of money in 2018 for me. You might be listening to this and thinking $500 isn't nothing. But when you grew up how I grew up, like I had a doctorate degree, y'all. I went to school. I got all this education. I had a job for 10 years, different jobs that were paying me. At one point, I had a job paying me 150K a year, okay, as an administrator of a school. And still, when that check came in, we spent all of that money. We didn't have money that we were saving or building up, stacking up, or anything. This is the very definition of paycheck to paycheck, which most people in the US are living paycheck to paycheck, more so than ever when we're recording this in early 2025. So if I was going to get started investing in real estate from scratch, I would want somebody to tell me up front, you're going to need time or you're going to need money. Okay. If you don't have time or money, the third thing that you could leverage is experience. Let's say that you don't have any time because life's busy. You don't have any money because you just don't want to use it or you just don't have it. If you've done this before, then that experience can be extremely valuable by partnering up with somebody who does have the time or who does have the money. Your experience as a contractor, your experience as a realtor, your experience as a person who does accounting or bookkeeping, your experience as a school administrator, in my case, right, could be very valuable to building a real estate business. Because if you have experience, you can often partner with people who do have the time or do have the money and help guide a process along. And so you're going to need one of these three things. Pause the video for a second. Just hit pause if you're watching this later and decide which one do you have? Okay. Which one are you seriously willing to commit to this process? You need to ask that question before you get started. Because if you're coming off the bat saying, oh, well, I don't have any time, I'm too busy, or I don't have any money, and I'm not willing to raise money, I'm not willing to talk to other people because money's everywhere. I don't have any experience with this. I'm totally new. Then you need to work on your mindset and come back to investing in real estate later. How much time do I need to invest? As much time as possible, especially in the beginning. How much money do I need to invest? Depends on what your goals are, but it's probably as much money as possible. You want to do it smartly. You want to learn some things before you invest your money, but you absolutely want to invest as much as you possibly can. How many times do you go into something tiptoeing in and think it's going to work? Right? I'm just going to tip my toe in and see if it works. I'm just going to test the water. When you're passionate about something and excited about something, you put as much time into it as possible. You put as much of your money into it as possible. You put all of your passion and experience into it as possible. And that's what it's going to take if you're investing in real estate from scratch. So you're going to need one of those three things. Hopefully, you paused the video, you thought about it. Okay. You've got time, you've got some money, or you've got some experience. Okay. You figured out what you've got. Now, let's talk about what your next step is going to be. Okay. Your next step. Your absolute first step, okay, if you're going to get started in real estate investing, is you need to make a schedule. Oh, I know you hate me. I know you hate this because you're watching this and you're wanting to get into real estate investing because you don't want to make a schedule, right? You want to be able to go to work when you feel like it. You want to be able to have freedom of time, and you want to be able to go on all the vacations and get on the boat and all of this stuff that you see posted on social media or all online. That comes way later for real estate investors. Okay. That stuff comes way later. If you're getting started from scratch, you do not need to be thinking about time freedom. You need to make a schedule. Okay. On your schedule, it's going to give you specific hours that you work, specific hours you work. We call this time blocking. Okay. If you try to get into real estate and you're just getting into it when you feel like it, you're going to get just feel like it results. Did y'all hear me? You're going to get just feel like it results. Okay. So if you're getting into real estate investing and you are going to do some of the activities we're going to talk about when you feel like it, your results will happen when they feel like it. And nobody's getting into real estate investing just for that. Okay. We're getting into real estate investing to create a new life, to create a life of our dreams. And so, just like you create the life of your dreams, okay, or you get good at whatever your career is, you have to create the life of your dreams and get good at real estate investing. And that requires time. Okay. So, one of the things you want to do first step is make a schedule. Okay. Each week, you should treat real estate investing like a job. That's your first step. It doesn't matter whether you're learning, okay, whether you're getting education, whether you're planning, or whether you're taking action. You need a schedule. I have a coaching student right now who just quit his job. He didn't quit his job, he got fired. And he got fired and I'm going to start my real estate business now. I'm going to start real estate investing because I got all this time. I don't have no job. This is the time to start my real estate investing business. I disagree. Okay. But this is what he said. And so he got into real estate investing. And every time he would call me and I asked him what he was doing, he would say, I'm cooking dinner for the kids, or I'm reading to the children. His children are homeschooled, by the way. He would say, helping my dad with the cows and chickens. If you're watching this later, you know who you are, but I'm not going to say your name. Okay. This is not for you. This is for people that are trying to get started from scratch. But every time I called him, sometimes he was doing real estate related stuff. Sometimes he was watching a YouTube video or he was watching something on online. He was talking to sellers sometimes because he understood that you need to do that. But his schedule was very sporadic. Okay. And so, of course, a couple weeks ago, he called me and said, I'm going back to work. Why are you going back to work? Because I'm not getting any deals. Why are you not getting any deals? It's just hard. That real estate investing is not working for me. The problem was that he was treating his real estate investing business like a hobby and not like a job. There's a reason why your job gives you a schedule when you have to clock in and clock out. There's a reason why your job has specific procedures that you have to follow. There's a reason that your job does things in a structured way and they make you take your breaks at a certain time. And it's because they want you to be productive. So, as a real estate investor, to this day, I still have a schedule that I have to work. Okay. I still have a schedule that I have to keep. A little bit more free these days than it was originally, but I absolutely still have to make a schedule. And if you're working a full time job, first step, set the hours that you're going to work in your real estate business. Are you going to work after work? Are you going to work uninterrupted before work? Are you going to work on the weekends and actually have a schedule that you keep? The reason that you make money consistently from your job, if you have one, or from your business, if you have one, is because you're consistently doing activities during specific times, whether it's your employees doing them for you or whether you're doing them. If you were inconsistent at your job or inconsistent running your business, your money would be inconsistent, and nobody likes funny money. So, first step, make a schedule, and each week treat real estate investing like a job. Your schedule might look like mine, or it might look better because you probably can do this way better than I do. But from 4 to 8 o'clock every day, every single day from 4 to 8 o'clock, I'm investing in myself, right? That's my health time. That's my reading time. That's my check on family time. But from 4 to 8 o'clock, I have specific things that I'm doing from 4 to 8 o'clock. My work day starts at 8 o'clock. Okay. And from 8 to noon every single day, I have work activities, income producing activities. We'll talk about these in a second that I'm doing from 8 to 12 o'clock every day. Okay. These days, I don't work Sundays at all, although my wife would probably say different. I try not to work Saturdays. She would probably say different. But from 8 to 12 o'clock, Monday through Friday, I'm doing income producing activities. We're going to talk about what those are in the second step. Okay. After 12 o'clock, I am usually doing activities that are passionate for me. This could be leading a group. This could be mentoring other students. This could be recording videos like this. This could be writing a book or other activities that I'm passionate about, but they're not necessarily always going to produce income for sure. Okay. So usually I'm doing that from 12 to 4 o'clock. From 4 to 5 o'clock, I'm generally reflecting on what has occurred during the day. Did I meet my goal of working my specific 4 hour shift, right? My 4 hour shift, that's what I have. Did I meet my goal of income producing activities from 8 to 12 o'clock? Okay. Did I meet my goal of doing the activities that real estate investors should be doing on a daily basis? Okay. Then I review my passion projects. Did I make progress? Was I productive? Okay. Is there anything that I need to do tomorrow, put on tomorrow's to do list that would make tomorrow a better day than today? But every day you need to schedule. Let's say you're not a full time investor and you're doing this part time. Block out the time that you would spend after work. Is it 6 to 8 p.m. every day? Is it 6 to 9 p.m. every evening? Those are great hours, by the way, to work in your real estate investing business. Are you working on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m.? Whatever you're doing, treat it like a schedule. Okay. And just to be clear, if you're going to take time off of work, then go ahead and calculate in your mind that your results are also going to take time off. The reason I'm telling you this is because so many real estate investors want to do deals, but they're not putting in the time. And I'm convinced that it's because people are just not being honest with them about what it takes, how much time it takes, how much energy it takes. I think for the first year of me trying to get into this, it might have been 2 years, y'all. I was listening to podcasts. You got to put that on your schedule. I was watching shows on YouTube, although YouTube wasn't as big as it is now. But that first year or two, I didn't do nothing, no deals or anything, just absorbing content, listening, learning the vocabulary. And that's a lot of time. If I could tell y'all how much time that was, if I had to say, geez, I bet you I was spending 4 hours a week, 4 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. So that's 20 hours for 2 years just learning. Okay. Let's say that I was doing that for 40 weeks out of the year. Okay. That's 1,600 hours that I was spending just learning. Okay. This is before I started making phone calls or making offers or doing the work. And so somebody needs to be honest with you. The first step is you make a schedule. Okay. Doing good on time here. The second step, okay, the second step that you absolutely want to take if you're getting started from scratch is you have to, second step, focus on income producing activities. Okay. This is where you focus. I'm going to put 90% of the time. Okay. 90% of the time, you are taking action. Why am I starting here? Because most people do what I did. Okay. Most people, they spend 90% of the time watching other people take action. They spend 90% of the time watching a YouTube video or listening to a podcast or reading a book. That should be less than 10% of your time because you'll feel like you're doing something and you're not doing nothing. You'll feel like you're investing, but you're not investing. 90% of the time should be focused on income producing activities. John, what are income producing activities? I'm glad you asked. Income producing activities are things that have the potential to make you money. Okay. I'm going to give you some income producing activities. I have a list of them on the wall up here. Okay. Prospecting calls. This is an income producing activity. Okay. Online marketing. Okay. This is an income producing activity. I'm trying to see this thing. Door knocking. This is an income producing activity. I love this. I should have this closer to me so I can see it. Let me grab it for a second for those of you that are doing this. All right, perfect. Now I don't have to strain my eyes, and maybe you paused it and went and got you something to drink or something. Networking events, okay, meeting other investors. This is an income producing activity. Social media engagement. Oh my God, this is so great. Referral requests. Yes, this is the work that moves the needle, like asking people for referrals. How many people have you asked for a deal lately? How many people have you told that you're looking for a deal? Deals come to those people who ask for deals. Direct mail campaigns. Okay, this is another way to produce income. I'm not going to go over all of these in the video because we go through all of these thoroughly in our inner circle coaching program. If that's something that you're interested in, we should be talking. Okay. If you're watching this video and you want to get deeper in the conversation, you want to get actual coaching and mentorship, this is a great time for you to reach out to me for coaching and mentorship. You want to focus on income producing activities as your second step. Okay. Now, you might say, I don't know how to do all of this. I don't know how to online market or door knock or attend a networking event. Okay. This is a good reason to have a coach. This is a good reason to have mentorship. This is a good reason to be involved in communities where people are doing deals. And I will tell you all that you often are the average of the people that you're spending the most time with. It was very hard for me at the beginning to change my circle of people that I spend the most time with. Very hard to change my circle of people that I spend the most time with. I was spending time with teachers. Okay. Y'all, teachers are great, but teachers can be some of the biggest complainers on the planet. I was spending a lot of time with church members. Church members are great, y'all, but church members can be some of the biggest complainers on the planet. I was spending a lot of time with people. Oh, running. I was exercising a lot back then. Okay, which is good to keep those people in your life for the exercise part. But if you're not spending time with people who are trying to grow something or trying to grow a business or trying to create income, it will be hard for you to focus on the activities that create income. Okay. So focus on like changing your friends, changing the people you spend time with, and put time into developing new relationships. If you're spending time with me, we're probably talking about health and real estate because that's what I do for income, right? If you're spending time with me, we're probably doing real estate deals together. We're probably not doing, we probably do not chit chatting and talking all the time. Okay. We're probably doing real estate deals. My friends, I would say the people that I call on a daily basis or daily every other basis, are mostly real estate investors. They're mostly people that are interested in doing real estate deals. So we talk about, what deals do you have going on? How did you get the deal? We use each other for motivation. One of my buddies I talked to just this morning, we are talking about how he's filling up his properties. He's got all these apartments that he's renovating. He's trying to lease them out. We bounce ideas on, how do we do our rentals? How do we build our portfolios? This is the activity of real estate investors. Okay. How do you make sure that you're focused on income producing activities? How do you focus? Let me ask you this. How does your job make sure you're focused on what you're supposed to be doing? How does your job, okay, how does your employer, or if you own a business, how does your business make sure you're focused on what you're supposed to be doing? The answer is simple. What you measure gets done. Okay. What you measure gets done. This means that you should be tracking everything. You should be tracking how many calls you're making. You should be tracking how much money you're spending on marketing or direct mail. You should be tracking on how many letters are being sent out, or how many people are visiting your website. How many followers do you have on your Facebook page or your social media? You should be tracking everything. How many doors did you knock? How many calls did you make? How many networking events did you attend or host? This is one for me to remember, right? How many of these things are you making happen? What's your social media engagement like? How many posts did you make? What are the likes and comments on your posts? Not for vanity purposes, but to track your income producing activities. Okay. I notice, y'all, that when I post to social media, especially about real estate deals I'm doing or deals my friends are doing, I get a lot more leads sent to me all the time. Facebook will show me leads when I start posting. Facebook shows me stuff like what I'm posting. Okay. When I start liking and commenting, Facebook shows me things like what I'm liking or commenting on. Instagram, same thing. Okay. So you track everything. Track how many people you talk to and ask for referrals or told what you do. And if you could just work on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, increasing the number of people that you talk to, the amount of marketing that you're doing, the amount of events you're attending, the more you can increase that, the more traction you will have in your real estate business. It's a joke now because I think people have started to catch on to the fact that I really promote income producing activities. But when people come to me and they say, John, I haven't found a deal, I'm not doing any deals, the first thing I ask most of the time is, how many sellers have you talked to in the last 7 days? The answer to that tells me everything I need to know. I would add to that, how many offers have you made in the last 7 days? Almost always, I cannot get people to make enough offers or to talk to enough sellers. And when I see somebody that's willing to do that, I invest heavily in them, because so many people are not willing to take the calls or make the calls or go network or go talk to sellers. These are the activities that move the needle. Y'all see my little page? This is up in my office every day. I'm looking at this all the time. What are the daily actions I need to be doing? I need to be prospecting, marketing, door knocking, network eventing, social media engaging, asking for referrals, or doing some type of mail campaign. Okay. You could do an email campaign too if you want to add that to the list. But people have to know what you do, and you have to be having conversations. This is the second step. So if I was getting started from scratch, the second step would be to focus on income producing activities. Okay. Step number 3, and I highlighted this already, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Okay. But this is very important. Step number 3, change your circle. Okay. We already talked about this a little bit, But if you're going to be a full-time real estate investor or you're really going to build a business, everybody needs to know that you're a real estate investor. Okay. This means that you eat, sleep, and breathe real estate investing. People need to be around you that are investing. People that stick around you need to be investing. People that you let into your circle need to be investors. Everybody needs to know that you're a real estate investor, and every conversation that you have, okay, every conversation that you have needs to be focused, okay, be focused on real estate investing. Now, somebody might say, oh, I'm not into it like that. I'm not into it like that. Hey, y'all, I hate to say it. Everybody knows I'm a real estate investor. It was not like this in the beginning, though. I had a job. And I was worried about people thinking that I wasn't doing my job. I was worried about getting fired. I was teaching class. I was teaching teachers how to get their principal license. I was teaching leaders how to be good leaders, how to turn around businesses, how to turn around schools, turn around organizations. And I didn't want to say anything about real estate because I didn't want somebody to go back and say, oh, he's trying to make money, right? He's trying to grow his income. He's trying to grow his portfolio. But when I started posting on social media and when I started telling people, hey, I'm interested in real estate investing outside of work, this is what I do. I got rental properties, I buy houses, I fix them up. People started coming to me and bringing me opportunities. People started telling me about stuff they were working on. And when you change your circle, the opportunities that are presented to you start to change. You cannot grow your bank account being tied to broke people. I just said it. You cannot grow your bank account being tied to broke people. So if you are tied to people that are not growing, if you are tied to people that are not trying to do what you're trying to do, you're going to become whatever the people are doing that you're tied to. If the people around you are complaining, you're going to be a complainer. The people are tied to you are being negative, you're going to be negative. If the people tied to you are not moving and shaking, you are going to move, not move and shake. Okay. The best way to change your circle, y'all, is to find rooms where people are doing what you want to be doing. This is not people that are talking about it. This is where people are actually doing what you want to be doing. So if I wanted to be a real estate investor, I would get in rooms where people are real estate investing. Okay. If you can't find a room, host a room. Okay. But y'all have so many tools. Y'all have Facebook groups, y'all have meetup.com as a place to look for places that people are real estate investing. But if you can't find a room, host a room weekly, monthly, do a meetup and ask other people to come that are interested in what you're interested in. The key, though, is to make sure the people that come to the room and the people that you are spending the most time with actually doing deals. If you spend a bunch of time with people that are not doing deals, guess what you won't do? You won't do any deals. Okay. So when I go to these rooms where people are making $1 million a year or $1 million a month, it's because my goals are to make $1 million a year or $1 million a month. I want to be in rooms where people are already doing that. What are they doing? They're marketing, they're hiring, they have systems, they have employees, they have teams, and you can't help but have that rub off on you. If you keep seeing people making seven figures a year and they have teams, they have systems, they have processes, you can't help but learn and say, okay, how did they do that? Okay, they have a virtual assistant. Okay, they pay for leads. Okay, they make this number of offers. They track this data. When you get in the room, you can see what other people are doing. Oh, they host meetups. They go speak at events. How are they raising money? Oh, they're talking to people that are strangers that don't look like them. When you see what they're doing, all you got to do is copy. I said I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but this is the third step. Okay. You've got to change your circle. Okay. Lastly, if I was getting started from scratch, let's talk about specific strategy. Okay. Let's talk about specific strategy. Okay. My strategy, okay, if I was getting started from scratch, okay, strategy. Everybody wants to know strategy. Okay. What's the strategy that I would use today? Okay. The strategy that I would use today if I was getting started from scratch is I would buy low and sell high. Oh, it's not complicated. This is not difficult. This is how things have worked since the beginning of time. Whatever asset type that I was going to work in, whether it's single family homes or multifamily or commercial, whether it's mobile homes or land, my goal would be to buy low and sell high. Okay. Now, you could always do this. You could do this with the contract. Okay. This is called wholesaling. You buy the contract low and sell the contract high. Okay. You could do this with the actual property. Okay. This is called flipping. Buy low, sell high. Okay. You could do this with anything. Okay. If you don't like real estate, go pick something else. But this is the strategy that makes money. You really don't need a bunch of rental properties for this to work. And the reason I like this strategy is because you don't need a lot of anything. What you need is hustle. That's what you need. You need hustle. You need hustle, especially related. You need hustle, especially related to the income producing activities. The strategy is simple. Okay. The strategy is simple. Why would someone sell me a property low? Oh my God. Y'all, if I could tell y'all how many of my students, even the ones that do talk to sellers, miss this point. Why would someone sell a property low? They need a property problem, okay, or an owner, a property, or a property owner problem, okay. You don't need to spend time on a deal. If this is your strategy, you don't need to spend time on a deal unless there's a property owner problem or a property problem. So I don't get excited when somebody sends me properties. I just got some properties sent to me, believe it or not, while we recording this video. I'm looking at them right now. Okay. I'm looking for a property owner problem. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an issue that is a property owner problem or a property problem. This guy is very motivated to sell. I love it. Heavy rehab needed. I love it. What does that sound like? That sounds like a property problem. Somebody has a property problem when heavy rehab is needed. The properties are just sitting there, they're not earning any money. Okay. The properties are not earning any money. So he has a property problem. What do? Y'all, it doesn't take that much work. It doesn't take that much deep focus. Okay. I'm actually going to do this right now because this is how I do stuff. And if he says no, I move on to the next one. But if he says yes, I'll look into it deeper. This is, y'all ready for this? Why don't we do this together? I'm going to share my screen, take it off the whiteboard here. This is my strategy. This is what I do. So I'm going to share my text message with y'all. Don't read them all. I'm looking over here. I don't see any scary text messages. All right. So this is my text messages. Okay. This is what I got while we were on the call. Dude from Corinth contacted me a couple of days ago and wants that package we talked about listed on the market. So I got details here. Why am I getting a lead? Because I spend time on income producing activities. I tell people what I'm doing. They send me opportunities. Okay. This is 21 doors and 2 vacant lots. 19 are single family homes. There's 1 duplex. Y'all, this is not on the market. This is not out there for sale. Love it. It's not for everybody to see yet. Now, in a few days, it looks like it will be for sale. 5 of them are occupied. I'm sorry, only 5 of the 21 are occupied. Y'all, what is that? What is that? This is a property owner problem. If you had 21 properties and 16 of them were empty, would that be a problem? It would be a problem. Heavy rehab needed, very motivated to sell. I'm very interested to buy. Okay. Because I have a property problem. How many times do people send me properties or packages? There's no problem. They're just sending me something where somebody wants to sell. My questions are all geared towards figuring out if there's a problem. My strategy is to find a problem. Okay. Says he's leaving that up to me to what to list. He's going to list around 333 a door. I feel like he's hoping for 25 a door. I offered 200 a couple weeks ago, 200K. So 21 doors divided by 200K, divide 200K by 21. I offered him 10,000 a house. He said no. All right. He didn't take it. So now I'm being told that he's probably going to want 25 a door. 25,000 times 21 is $525,000. It's too much, y'all. It's too much. I can't make any money at that. So what I'm going to do is make this interesting. Okay. 350,000 divided by 21, that's 16,000 a house. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to 15,000 a house. 15,000 times 21 doors is 315,000. So I'm going to offer 315,000 cash, but I need an answer today. Is he interested? This is how you make offers, people. How do I know that 15,000 works? I haven't even looked at these houses. Y'all, I didn't even open the pictures that are in the text. Okay? How do I know? I know where this market is. I know that houses are worth more than 15K. And pretty much I know that I could build a house for less than what he's asking for here or more. What I'm trying to say is I know that the cost to build a house brand new is going to make sense if I had to redo the house completely. Okay. So you make an offer really thinking about what's the worst case scenario? Like the worst case scenario is that I get 21 houses for $15,000 a piece. Fantasia, do you know what I'm going to do? If he says yes to this 15,000 a house, I'm going to put it under contract and then I'm going to go find somebody that'll pay 20 a house or 25 a house. Okay? This is the business. Buying low, selling high. Now, he's asking for 525 or 625. Y'all, I could care less what they're asking. Michael was like, oh, Fantasia, I think it was several people in the last few weeks that are like, man, if I offer that, that's because you're not talking to somebody where you've clearly identified a problem. I always make offers to people where there's a problem. That's why I don't have a problem making a low offer because my offer is going to solve their problem. I know that this guy bought these houses like 5 or 6 years ago for $100,000 or something. So he's still going to be making money, but he's gone 5 years and hadn't fixed the houses up. It's a lot of work. Absolutely a lot of work. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get an answer. Maybe we'll get a counter. If we get a counter for under $20,000 a house, I'm going to look closely at that. I'm going to look at, okay, what if I had $60,000 into 21 doors? How much could I make? Okay, it's still a good deal as long as you're following the strategy of buying low and selling high. We've got a few more minutes with what I wanted to do during this hour. Okay, so the strategy is to buy low. Okay, buy low and sell high. That's the strategy. Okay, how do you do this over and over again? How do you do this? How do you buy low and sell high? Y'all know how to do it? Let's make our graphic big here. How do you buy low and sell high? Okay, that's the strategy. Buy low, sell high. Okay, the way I do this, and we're wrapping up here, is to make a ton of offers. Okay, you make a ton of offers. You make a ton of offers. Okay, if you're not making but an offer every now and then, or you're not making but an offer a week or offer a day, you're not going to run across these opportunities where you get something that's an absolute steal. You're not going to run across opportunities where you get something really cheap. I will tell y'all this: there's a lot of momentum that comes when you start making offers and buying things. When you buy things, let's say you're doing a flip. Michael wants to do a flip. Let's say you do a flip. What happens to the house next door when the house across the street comes up for sale next to your flip? Do you think the seller of that property is going to put it on the internet first? Or are they going to come and ask you about it? Are they going to come and say, hey, Michael, I see you're flipping that house. Would you like to buy mine? Momentum comes when you start actually doing deals. Fantasia, when you get your first contract and you assign your first deal, momentum comes from doing the work. Momentum comes when you're actually the one doing deals. People bring you things when they know that you can close. This guy that I just showed that sent me this deal, we've done probably 50 plus deals together. So he knows I'm a buyer, right? This is the way the business works. So, what I wanted to do today was really talk about how I would get started if I was starting from scratch. I hope you got the steps. Okay. I hope you got the strategy. Now, only you can decide whether you have the hustle. Only you can decide whether you're willing to do the work. Okay. If you need coaching around this, if you need support, if you need somebody to check in on you and make sure that you're doing the work, if you need somebody to do the work with, I think that's why I love my community, is because I like to do the work with people that I'm helping. Okay. Then you need to reach out to me. Okay. You probably have some details on the screen or underneath the video, wherever you're watching this. You make sure you reach out to me because I'd love to help you. This is Grab the Map Education. This has been a great chance for me to talk to you one way. Now it's time for you to talk to me. So I look forward to talking to you. Don't just look at it, grab the map.